In 1994, the United States hosted a World Cup that set attendance records that remain unbroken to this day. It was an event that successfully introduced the sport to a domestic audience that largely viewed soccer as a foreign curiosity. This chart tracks the cost of admission. For the 2026 return, the financial barrier has changed. Driven by dynamic pricing, some resale tickets peaked at $32,000, pricing out the middle-class fans who typically drive the tournament's atmosphere. Beyond the cost, international visitors faced a gauntlet of administrative friction. Travel bans affected several nations, while others dealt with revoked ticket allocations and heightened vetting at the border. By the time the opening whistle blew, many global fans saw the United States not as a host but as a hostile fortress. FIFA initially forecasted a $40.9 billion GDP boost and over 1 million international visitors, but early travel data showed a significant gap. Transatlantic flights ran 14% below previous levels, and 80% of host city hotels failed to meet institutional projections. This disconnect between the top-down corporate expectations and the on-the-ground reality suggested the tournament might fall short of its diplomatic and economic promises. But as the fans arrived, they began to operate in the gaps where official policy failed. They bypassed bureaucratic tension through direct, localized enthusiasm. These supporters became informal ambassadors. In Texas, viral clips showed Japanese fans praising local barbecue, creating a digital bridge between their own culture and the American South. In Boston, Scotland's Tartan Army packed local pubs and donated $15,000 to local students. Their presence was so well received, it resulted in a formal sister city agreement between Boston and Glasgow. Other fans documented their experiences with everyday Americana, from late-night 24-hour diners to local convenience stores. These unscripted moments generated a volume of positive social media content that began to compete with the negative institutional narrative. Sociologists at Florida State University describe this as citizen diplomacy, a bottom-up process where ordinary people generate a level of goodwill that governments cannot easily manufacture. Most visitors arrive with expectations shaped by headlines of political conflict and social division. They expect to find the polarized country they see on the news. But when these visitors encounter mundane, everyday hospitality, like sharing a drink or getting directions, those hostile headlines begin to rapidly fragment. These small, human interactions interrupt the existing narrative, offering a more generous reflection of the country. This grassroots exchange suggests that human-scale interaction can be a more effective diplomatic tool than the official friction generated by state policy. In 1994, the World Cup was a calculated attempt to use a global event to change how Americans saw a foreign sport. It was an educational project for a domestic audience. In 2026, that dynamic has been reversed. The sport is now being used to change how the world sees America. While the corporate hotel projections may have missed their mark, the scale of the event's social impact is harder to ignore. The tournament has left behind an archive of viral, positive impressions that purely economic forecasts cannot capture. The legacy of 2026 suggests that a nation's most durable global relationships are forged not in consulate offices, but in the shared organic spaces of the stadium and the street.